I hope you're having a great day. Today, I wanted to sit down with you and talk about how I choose my samples and why I choose the samples that I choose. This is going to be a very open topic because we're all going to have a different way of listening to music. Some samples or some records that you're inspired by, I might listen to it and not find any inspiration whatsoever. Some of the records that I'm inspired by, you might listen to and nothing clicks. So everybody's going to have a different way of listening to music. So this is not something that I could teach or anybody else can teach you. It's just something that is naturally within you. Like for me, it really only takes 1 second or 2 seconds of a clip that I listen to that I'm like, yo, I'm stuck with that and I want to use that. I want to pull that in. I'm already looping it in my head, getting ideas, and I want to work with it. But overall, I think at least for me, the main 3 elements would be the way it was recorded, meaning like what studio, what microphones, the acoustics within that room, like how it was recorded. It doesn't matter if it was in the 50s, 60s, 70s, early 2000s, or nowadays. It's just the sound quality of that recording. Second of all is going to be the type of keys that are playing. You know, is it major chords or minor chords? I tend to enjoy minors a lot more than majors. And third of all is going to be the tempo of the song. Is it a fast-paced song? Is it a slow-paced song? Is it in a 4/4 measure, or is it just jazz or instrumentation that doesn't really have a timing? I tend to enjoy a slower tempo music. When it's something playing like at a 120 beats per minute, it's kind of hard to chop that up, pitch it down, and try to recreate. I mean, you could do it. Again, there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Maybe you enjoy faster tempo music, but for me, I like slow tempo music. Right here, I actually have a track that I'm working with. I have the samples that I chopped up on the MPC, and then I have the drums on the sp404, so I'm kind of doing like a weird setup right here. This is more of me sharing my mindset behind on why I do certain things. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that, but there's just a small portion of what I have going on. And one thing that I want to share with you guys is just my mindset behind on why I chose that sample. Again, like I mentioned in the beginning, I gravitate towards the way audio was recorded. I really enjoy the sound of this whole entire production. I'll let you guys hear a little bit of it. Like the bass. Like the bass, I just hear it really, really thick, and I felt like the bass line itself was very powerful. I think the 2 elements that I heard or that I gravitated towards on this specific record was the bass and the strumming of the guitar. I was listening to this record not with the mindset of sampling. I was just sitting down in my room playing Spanish music in the background, and the only thing that I took out of this record was, again, the bass line and the guitar strumming. That bass line alone already had the chords, the minors that I just really enjoy. So I go ahead and record that. Now, when I record and sample into the MPC, I fill up all my banks because yes, I might gravitate towards 1 second or 2 or 3 seconds of a record, but I know I want to capture a lot more than that to play with, not just have that looping over and over, because then it becomes very repetitive and just becomes very boring after a while. So in this case, I knew the section that I wanted to sample, which was this loop right here. But I kept it going, even though I'm not going for those major chords. Again, like I went back now, I'm not done with this beat, but my main loop, the foundation, was going to be here, which is in bank A. But as I'm performing this, I can just bank through bank B or C or D and get other little clips. Again, you see, like, don't just stick to one section of the song. Like, don't be afraid to sample a whole entire verse if you have to. Not only that, but I'm okay with vocals. Like, as you guys hear, there's vocals right here that are within these sample chops. I enjoy vocals, especially female vocals. When I'm sampling, now I don't want too much going on. I'm okay with little snippets or milliseconds of a vocal just like sneaking in through a sample pad. I'm okay with that. I like how that sounds. As a matter of fact, when the vocal is a little choppy, to me, it sounds even better. It just sounds harder. Like in this loop, you guys hear that? It's like he's about to say something, but then he gets cut off by me, and then I bring him right back to the beginning of that bar, which I enjoy when, you know, when I hear records and there's a little bit of snippets of audio of vocals and they get cut off. It just, I don't know, it just adds like attitude to the beat. So fill up these banks that you have. You got bank A, B, C, D, all the way through H that you can fill up. And work with all that, blend it in. If this becomes too repetitive for one of the beats, you could just grab another bank or another chop that you could bring it into what you're already working with. There you go. I'm just listening. I have this loop. I have these drums looping nonstop. There's times where I'm sitting down right here just to get a 4-bar sequence. I just zone out and I lock in to this drum break or this drum performance that you have on your grid and letting that play back over and over and over. And as you have your slices already chopped up, take your time, spend that time, like fall in love with the process of looping and of listening and feeling, connecting with these chops that you've created and coming up with a variation of this 2-bar or of 1-bar loop that just inspired you. There you go. And then I go back. Like that. Go back. So that's why for me, I tend to use all these banks when I can or if I want to, because I don't want to just get stuck with one loop. I want to go ahead and play with this whole mess that I created of samples with my MPC. And to me, that process right there of looping a drum break for 4 bars or 2 bars and me just zoning in, like that's therapy for me. Like if I enjoy what I feel right here and after a while this gets boring to me, well, guess what? I bang through and I bang through another bank and another bank. And what guides me when I'm doing this banking through is not really professional instrumentation or professional musical chords. Some of these chops might not make sense musically, but they do make sense to the way I'm connecting or the way I'm feeling with the audio that I'm listening to. Now, okay, yeah, maybe I am getting pretty deep with it, but music is very unique for everybody. And you got to know why you make what you make. What is your purpose when you're making beats? For me, I'm not no producer. I don't label myself as a producer. I'm just a beat maker. I make beats for myself. I enjoy this and I do this for myself. I share it with you and I enjoy sharing it with you. But at the end of the day, I do what I like. I do it because I feel it. I'm not thinking about other artists. I'm not thinking about other rappers. Maybe you're thinking about production and you do want to work with artists. And yes, that's probably going to be a bit different behind your mindset. But in my case, I just enjoy the connection with myself. And this is where I connect with myself. But I'll leave you with this question and hopefully you can share it down in the comments with me. What is something that strikes you? Is it an era, whether it's the 70s, the 60s, or whether it's the instruments that are being played? Or let us know down in the comments. I'm actually really interested to getting to know a little bit behind your mindset when it comes down to selecting the right sample. I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you enjoyed this time with me. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you on our next video. Peace.